One Man, One God, Trinity, 2026, Danny Torres. Copyright, trademark, service mark, intellectual property, publishing, all rights reserved, 100%, Danny Torres. So let me give you a broad understanding, which is a brief, but it's broad. That's why I say just a little bit of us gives you a lot. And we like to keep it short and simple, because we've been there, we learn from each other, we raise the lower for what it is. So look at the diagrams, the diaphragms, right? This is how it shows up. So we come from places where our parents had to leave the Caribbean because of our roots and the troubles that the colonizations did to our countries. We left for better. It was much of a danger than to stay, a life-risking danger. We saw better that we could make better, and make, not only that we did make better, we didn't forget where we came from, and we knew that in a suppressed, colonized, I'm saying even the music was banned. Even the music, anything that will bring us together, that has the soul rights and spirit, that you could produce yourself, and these frequencies is what drives and brings us back to our essence and who we are as peoples. These search of essence is where what keeps you alive and keeps your image alive. They banned a music like bachata. They made it look like if it was outlaw type things to do, like if it was they classified it as the most poorest, like, so it was like biased, criminalized. It was like everything that you could put, like, matter of fact, two of the main things that I practiced and I learned and I educated in DR. And it took probably a person to go and live there, because people that were just going to DR at this time, like in the 80s, and then like some in the 90s, like this was before even bachata like really popped off and populated. To your surprise, if you didn't think this was a factual thing, it wasn't populated in its own country where it came from. People had to leave. It was banned, these things. By the time I was visiting back to make means with the nature and our indigenous bonds and culture, I had to teach a lot of people how to dance. I had to educate a lot of people that up north, it's like the mechanics of the islands and how it was left colonized, the residue and the scantrum, the BS, the scantrum, the Pinocchios, the Columbias, the Christopher Columbus. The residue of all that was like scattered all around. You'll find more places in the countries where people were just like not modernized and trying to just keep their own cultures. Although wherever it was more modernized, the more risk. That's why people had to leave, because the more city-like it was becoming, and the more the cities kept like the bands like on track. Like if you were going to the countryside, people wasn't paying attention to it like that, because ain't nobody around really to stress it like that. All the political things and all the stuff was going on in like more in the city wise, where things were more resourceful, but things were more like the laws were like colonized laws, the residues laws, So, I mean, there were colors just because of your color. Like, remember they had that whole parsley thing going on, law, where they wanted how they did with with the like the fruits and the you know, the foods, the plants, how they genetically modified. They were trying to colonize, like put a color now, a specific color only for people to just be like, and therefore, although it was race, it was racism, it was all that you see in America. This is the core place where all this began, the core story. So I understand the mechanics of the people, the residue that came. So once everybody just left out and paid attention more to the U.S. and we just became independent, we still had to look up to where all this, you know, all this came from, right? And we knew that we wasn't trying to fight it all, whatever the genocides or the whatever they did, it was done. And then like we knew that the stories from like up north, like the people in the island themselves, they knew that the up north stories wasn't correct. And then when the people and the kids started reading on stories and then picking up on that, they will ask questions. Our parents wasn't the ones really asking the questions when they came into and why and into the States. They was just like, okay, it's do or nothing, because we just came from leaving one place to make better. So it's do or nothing. They were more strictly on stick to one thing, then don't ask no questions. This works, find out what's that. Or you like to climb trees and trim, is that a job? It pays? Let's get that going. Like, to be in that state, it was just like not think about how the structure of all these, what business was, what, you know. And we were business, we had business. You see that, like when people come from DR, putting 1 and 2 together, putting numbers together, bodegas, primary just logic and business, like, and then it comes from a natural base where we never lost our essence, so it's a very well kept, because we know how to also keep things where we don't have to fight, although we knew that the structure and everything wasn't perfect. That's why people were leaving. The residues are still there. The bands, the colonization. It was race. It was a lot of things. It was so much that when I got there, I was teaching people in the city more the culture, the own culture that was being like trying to be erased and wiped for the modern and the community. So the modern was looking at me coming from New York. There was like, wait, we're looking up to New Yorkers. We're being modern and we're trying to be more of that. So, because that's the image of what is like elite, although it will take you out of your nature and out of your culture at the same time. Because a lot of people that left never came back the same. The bands, and they didn't play the music like that. They didn't represent like that. That's why this is not on everybody. There was certain people and places that were actually, you know, involved like this. And I'm one of those key players from from my ancestors, bringing it to and back, bringing it from and back. Because from being banned, from leaving to coming up, and we pushing now. We could get music, we could get all the CDs, we could go back in the countries, and then we could make copies. We could, you know, and that's what we were doing. We were celebrating our culture, where people was lost from it in their own country. So when you have individuals that take elite positions and are elite players in all of this, you got to look at our artifacts from our roots, that we bring it to the States to bring it back, and it goes back and forth. It It goes now worldwide. It doesn't even, there's nowhere it could bounce. It's just a universal thing that we are the primary source of human resources, of natural human resources, of no like materialism, just by communication, our intellectual, our growth for wellness and well-being has grown and mastered to be well in the community, to make the community and give the community the wealth, and it has, because of the way we secured each other and the way we protected and the way we fed each other mentally, physically, and economically. So understand that this wasn't just random. Like, it was from people, from indigenous practices that came from a long way to make things better, and kept knowing what was better, and keep getting that and that value and that growth in the community, to give that face in the community, to give that lead in the community, for when people come and they see the example where the other countries can't get all these things together at once. Meanwhile, we at the city that never sleeps, where you can get everything and anything, no holds bars. Like, but we managing our home, away from home, but it's ours, and you could see that it's ours. You could see that we raised it. It has that home feeling, and it has that home stretch to it wherever you go, worldwide. And people want that always, all day, every day. When you could get it like that, where you at, you in good hands, you in good faith. Because now you got a whole community, the most valuable community in the whole world. Not because of any material, just because of our logic and how we move, our everyday basis, how we it's not you could wear the same color shoes or something. It's our swag, our moves with the swags, and how we present in our own characters. But so we have to come back to that. Because I'm going from different dynamics and understanding and putting everything together. I got sent to DR. That's how I found out that people ain't put on to how I'm repping the culture over here, hardballing over here. Everybody knows 309. You cannot undermine anything when it comes to bringing a place together, the culture, and bringing the new form in the new world together to work within your culture without making any changes, keeping it neutral. And since you left the place where you don't have to have that weight, where the country is with the bans and stuff, you kept all those things together. That's no difference with the marijuana, where now it was banned in the new home, and we kept moving with it. People that don't even smoke and don't even use it, probably just use it once and stuff. Any female or males out there, they voted for this, and almost all the United States of America already has approval, and whoever has approved are out of their they were always on a negative deficit in the state deficits. And they go on positive, because health is wealth, and that's what it always been based on. So people that don't even smoke understand that. People that don't even do it know what medicine is, because they were the ones. They were the nurses. Because you don't think I have my peoples, my circles? They were watching me, and if it was something else, they would have been on a worry, but. They were my nurses, and to my mom, to my parents growing up, I was always doing a biology class with the most intelligent and most wise people that don't do anything out there to get caught up, but that analyzes everything from top to bottom and move the most brightest and the slickest out there to produce and do anything that you want to do out here and not get caught up with nothing. He's in good head, because he got the circle that people see you going around, and how you come up has a significant meaning, and that's a reading. That's how you know certain things. I'm not talking about like just saying, oh, whoever is his friends, then that's that person. Because we have a whole dynamic where we go out. We are from, like, if this person is from this place and this person is from, our nature is like we are the streets. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it out. There was people from all over, all states went through the pandemics. We learned how to do pandemics. This is how I come out not losing in pandemics and always with products and services. Because our communities and ourselves always find, we always on the find of how can I not get a complaint. That I'll see what could be an issue, or I see what issues are mine. I read everybody's issue and I'm like, this could be an issue for everything. So I try to cover all these things and I try to make it right. And then when everybody comes back, they feel it's so original, so alive that there's like somebody catering to in all these different like ways, and all you got to do is, if you like the service, you can enjoy it. Because if there's something that needs to be looked at to make right, we both there, because we know this thing works, because we know it's good. So let's continue. You know, it's like it's that type of relationship. Like, if you know we're gonna put that person front if that's what works. If it don't work, you don't care. If it's different but if it works, yo, my man is different. Yeah, his layup is kind of like left and right. Like, you know what I mean? It's a weird shot, but does it hit? It gets it in. We're not gonna put people not in position because of how they look and how they be. There's people that don't wear all the sharps. They don't wear all the brands and names and stuff, and they out here and their hustles we could see the shine in their hustles right through everything. Yo, people don't see all of that. Because we have character. We could see that the character and the swagger overlaps the clothing. So when people are trying to, you know, like make it theirs, you know, the ones that really put it in perspective are the ones that have the real attitude, the real back up with the culture and the areas with it. And we primary for that. So we looked at for that. The way we're gonna go is like, all right, this person does that. This person is like you might not want to move with the next one, but we don't hate each other. You know, this one might. Are we competitive? We've been competing. We know each other from elementary school. And whoever comes in and out, we know what type of competitiveness do you have in all types of sports, because when you out there, you want to play and you want to play it right. And then when you want to form a team, we know what to do. We ain't going to be like, oh, this guy's from over there, I'm not going to. And then even when it came to like people that want to, you know, they fell into like out of things, like we know that we don't move in like, let's say if you see gangs, you see different color gangs, you see people here and there, like even if you felt like you had to, there's gangs and there's this and then that, like you wouldn't hate the next person in the lower because he was in this place and this place. Were they controversy? Yeah. I mean, you wake up in what you do with your brothers and sisters. Sometimes you're gonna, you know, you gotta just get in line. Because when it's times to play, when we step outside, we don't play. The business is done. We always are about our business. The business is done. But when it comes to the weekend, the play is the play. That's the business. And we don't play about our business. We just don't. And so everybody knows that nobody has time to be messing around with nobody. If everybody likes the way they like their certain things, and they keep this people in these circles, even though we all live in the same lower, we're gonna keep that peace. Because every time you go through that, you can read, that's the information that you've been reading for the rest of your life since you've been there about us. You feel that's a secure place that you already know. They got the thing down pat, but the thing ain't all easy, and things go left and right all day. So we ain't gonna rely on every single aspect that we all do out there. But when it comes down to like have a primary outlook that we gotta protect ours over here, and not let from the outside, like, you know, get all things carried away, because it ain't easy. Like, it ain't easy nowhere in the world. You know what I'm saying? There's people that, you know, like in different places, they do gangs, they do have things, but they involved in the same place where they live. We don't concentrate on these things. Even if you come in with that, the people that come in have to know that it's a different dynamics, and it doesn't work the way. And both dynamics respect each other, because you read what the play is in the streets. You don't come in, you know what I mean? You don't come in on some, you know, you could come in however you want to come in, but you're gonna get the response, and you're gonna read the answer right after. And then, you know what I mean, if you have to get, you don't really want to get knocked down twice to know what to keep your head on. Because you might not have a head to continue on, you know what I mean? It's not like a show either. It's real life, and because it's gully, it's life, and it's keeping it fresh. We don't have to. I mean, it's like impressing without impress. You just feel so tight that your area is tight, and the next person, he's right next to you. You love him, and no, it's not like you hate him, but you're like, you know yours is tight, and you go in with your game like that though, because we come from like, I know everybody's ability. Like it's so incredible that everybody knows everybody's abilities, and we have incredible abilities, females and males. We know how to raise them. This is why we were looked after. This is why we were looked after and looked sort of. It's like people that want quality and want that care in people. In fact, that we detail. We don't have to discriminate. We took from things that were banned. The things that I was teaching the people out there when I was living in DR is the things that exploded. Let alone the lower is the thing. The bachata. Tell me I didn't teach the marijuana. Droga? Tú haces droga, mi amor. No, mi amor, eso no es droga. Déjame explicarte. You know, my dude's passing me the cigarette. Dude's a judge, right? I'm like, nah, you know, there's difference between this. That's a cancer stick. You know, I'm not gonna be messing with it, and it's really addictive. I'd rather find some, you know, Mary J, and I'm good, but not everybody's out here, you know. It's like everything that's like up north, whatever's banned, is like it gotta look even 10 times worse. It's like that's what was portrayed in laws and stuff like that out there. Not necessarily that it was against it, but then they know that the history is not right and it's twisted, but they're not gonna say anything about it. They ain't gonna fight and tell you X, Y, and Z. But you go out there as I did, because a lot of people from New York, they just be shut. They'll from out of the island, and they will go back. People just be like, hey, what you got? Yo, what's up? Let's go do this. They have a good time, but they don't really know the dynamics of what's happening in there, and how people are being treated, and how they looked at all this colonization stuff. I was over there raw. I was on my ancestors, like my roots that was telling me you had to advance. Now don't take advantage because they looking at you like you are a part of education of the top, because they know that everything up there is the influence, and they want to modernize, so they're gonna look at you. Now they playing the bachata. Now I'm not taking I'm taking where I needed to take it. I'm taking back where the band is placed in the continent, and taking all that scantrum out. That's what I did out there. And I taught the culture. I taught the dance. I was so in that, I know the basics in salsa and stuff. I didn't even get into salsa just to teach because of the band, because the salsa was more like, how it was more like American, like always, Dancing with the Stars. They took, it always was like, it was like an okay thing. But when it came to bachata, I was like, oh, it's like that over here? Oh, you must not know. I know all about this. And you're gonna tell me I rep this like this, and we go, you don't know who we are. You Dominican, right? Come here, you Dominican, right? We're gonna take this, and this is from me coming from the States, born in the States, but the roots and what came from our ancestors never leave us. So it just vibrated, a vibration. Just I'm that live one. I knew my position. I knew what I need to play. I taught people how to dance. I kept that culture, and plus my cousins were the best salsa dancers in the whole NY, the whole tri-state, the whole boroughs, let alone LES. And then my uncles, my cousins and stuff, like the short, but since he learned from a tall one, it was like saying when you smoke the marijuana is loud, short, but the characters and how we produce and what we have, everybody's like stunned. Everybody's like, everywhere we go, you ain't gonna get a dance like that, because it's not. It's the culture mixed with the swag, and mixed with how educated and how well we feel about turning off the lights on all of this modern stuff and saying, nah, man, this is our culture. We ain't leaving that. No bands, no nothing. We're real. We're individuals. This is what we do. You got that attitude, everybody's looking in, tuning in. They coming from out of seas, in their own islands, in their own countries. People can't even act this free, and it's not even about, it's can't see as a front. Where you go, and then when they started going all the way down, they saying like, this is civilization, like not modern, advanced civilizations, just Xing all the scantrum. This is the right recipe. The lower, my peoples, the specialties is incredible. You don't even, the abilities of everybody individually. So yeah, us working together in the lower, that's the whole key. We never off. 24/7 on. And that's what it is. We will always want to compete about things and put logic and put sense and facts and feel good because you educated. And then you play, you in sports and you competing and you elevating. You putting the right things in your body. You meditating. My Trinity. We living. And this is what we're here for. And this is what they do. Trinity. One member, one God.